How do you get a man to give you what you want? Whether it is a romantic interest, a family member, the bartender, the police officer who pulled you over, or whoever, regardless of what you look like and your relationship to them. You use what I call the big three of male appreciation: ego, logic, and desire. And so we started this conversation over on TikTok. Hello, I'm Kady Rocks. I'm a content creator, primarily making music, astrology content, and I talk about relationships a lot. But I haven't talked about relationships a lot on this channel. But I made a video about this on TikTok, and someone's like, "Where did you read this? Was it in a book?" I'm like, no, this is just what I decided to call this concept that works really well for me. And it was inspired by this like intense Twitter thread I saw of men talking about the wildest things women have ever asked them for. And so there's like this long thread of screenshots of women asking for things, and it's a no, which is why they're in the thread. And I'm like, it's so simple. It's so easy. It's so easy. And so that said, like whether you're asking for money or anything, really, the thing that people say that men are very simple, they are. They very much are, which means it's very easy to get them on the same accord as you if you are willing to consider what makes them tick. And another commentary that somebody made on my video was like, oh, this is manipulative and you're bad. No, it's not. Well, okay. I think in general, we need to unpack the way we think about the word manipulation. Everything is manipulation. That's how you make choices in your life. People strategically place products, things, TV shows, whatever in front of you based on what they believe you desire. And you make choices to discriminate between this and that and to make a choice and to move on with your life, likely one that makes sense for you and brings you joy based on somebody's manipulation, whether it's a marketing director, a brand, or whatever. Do you follow me? Like, yeah, I was manipulated into buying that picture because it was drawn of a Black girl doing magic. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm a Black girl that does magic. It was strategically, it's created for someone like me. I'm the target audience. And so people look at manipulation like, oh, it's bad. No, manipulation for the most part is when people, brands, or whoever put the information that allows you to make a choice in front of you. Like sometimes you don't have all the information you need. Like if you see two products that are the same, you're like, why, how do I pick? Whether it's price manipulation or the design, something is helping you make a choice. And so what we're talking about here is really, and I also said this in a follow-up video, comes down to like basic communication skills, communications 101, essay writing 101. Who is my target audience? Why do they care about what I have to say? What's the benefit to them if they agree with me and if they listen? Right? And that's how we like negotiate anything. And so what we're talking about here is like, how do you take that format based on what we understand most men want and how they tick? And every man's not going to fall into this framework, right? This is just kind of like based on the conversations I've had with my father, conversations I've had with people I've dated, because me, I'm direct. I'm going to ask straight up. Because as I said in the TikTok, I was like, hey, I don't necessarily ask romantic partners for money. Well, I don't ask them. I've never asked for money or things in general, but I've had a lot of romantic partners who just do things for me. And I've asked like, hey, why did you do that really nice thing for me? And they tell me, like, if you ask people direct questions, a lot of times they will communicate. And the biggest thing that I heard the most direct statement I heard, right? Because a lot of this is like, oh, I took that feedback and I put it into the structure, ego, logic, desire. But one of them directly said, Kady, I love doing things for you because you stroke my ego in ways that are believable, right? He directly put that into words. You make me feel like the man, right? So like if you need something and I have the opportunity to do it for you, I'm going to do it, because guess what I get in return? You make me feel like the man by your praise and the things you say and the way you treat me. Like he said once, I asked about, I can't remember what it was, but like before he, because he had put together this really amazing, really, really, really cute rooftop date. And I asked him, I was like, what made you decide to do this? He was like, it was the day that you were over and I was cooking for you. And you just walked up behind me and put your arms around me, you just laid your head on my back, and it made me feel, it was really affectionate. I think he said, it was like, I'm not really used to like dating women who were that affectionate or whatever. It was something along that line. But you see what I mean? Because I think people always think that it has to be some kind of like inherently sexual exchange when it comes to men. But like I said, the structure works for men that you're like related to. If you make them feel appreciated and you appeal to their sense of logic and what they desire. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We're already in this, and we already know I'm low tech, so there won't be any edits. We're just gonna roll on through. But so, like, what does it mean? The first framework, ego. Men have ego. Men are men are all about ego. How they view themselves in the world. How they feel like they are viewed in this world. Status, it matters. And so it's like, do you appeal to the ego by giving genuine praise and appreciation? And so the key part is like, it needs to be believable, like my former partner said. But in general, like, what are you attracted to in this person? What do you appreciate in this person? What do you see? Like, it's the same way, like if you pass a stranger on the street, and instead of saying you look nice today, it's saying, oh, I love your blue suede shoes, right? What do you like about this person? Whether it's like your father, like is your dad, like, daddy, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it when you helped me with my homework, or I really appreciated it when you picked your grandchildren up from school last week, dad. You know what I mean? Like, what can you appeal to ego wise to let them know that you genuinely appreciate the actions that they take for you, whether it's action or money or whatever? And so it's like being able to verbalize that is so important. And so, like, it's something that I started really early on in the relationship with the cooking for me, all of that. That was something I picked up on really quickly, and it wasn't like manipulation, but I did notice that when I was more willing to voice what I really appreciated about him, he focused on doing those things, which inherently caused him to stop doing the things that made me unhappy, right? And it works when two people like each other, because when two people like each other, they want positive affirmations and reinforcements for the other person, and they don't want negative ones, right? And so like somebody who doesn't like you might not care, right? And so you can't that's what I say, it's really hard to manipulate somebody with this, because somebody who doesn't like you doesn't value your appreciation or your praise anyways, and they don't care if you are unhappy with them. There has to be some level of desire for your praise. And the reason why this can work with random people, because it's like, if you are a femme presenting person, most men want women to have pleasant interactions with them, even if they don't know them, right? If you go to the bar, he's there, he's drinking, he wants the women around him to be chatty and nice. And so that's a motivation, right? That's why he would want you to like him. Whether or not he wants to like marry you is another thing. If you get you see what I mean? It can apply to people you don't know, but specifically within romantic connections, if they don't value you in general, it won't work anyway. So you can't really manipulate somebody using this method, or I don't think so. The people do what they want to do. People do what we give them the opportunity to do. But that also works with the positives. I think we talk about like people treat you how you allow. Yes, people treat you how you allow. So can you create scenarios that allow them to be your hero, your champion? Hello. And so, yeah, with that scenario, so it's like I started really early on. I'm like, hey, I really love it when you call me when you're going to be late, right? And so, and it's not like and like he was really intelligent, and so he didn't take it as me giving him a pass when I didn't like fuss at him for being late. I think he was also a person who was like highly critical of himself, so it also helped there. And so like he would already be thinking about all the things he would do wrong in the areas where I could chastise him. And so it was really it made him feel really safe when I was willing to be vulnerable. That's another thing, communicating your needs to somebody will do. It's like, hey, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z, da, 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 da. And so there's also different ways to do it. A lot of times I don't necessarily ask, not because I don't want help, but because my brain, I'm hyper independent, and like, just my life in general, I've always had to take care of it, right? Like it's always been on me. And so a lot of times when I'm talking about what I'm going through or my experiences, I'm not looking for someone to rescue me. And so people do things for me without me asking for it because that's how I'm wired. But also I have learned the value of directly asking for help. Like the friends I have now, like I love them so much because I know, and I have learned through my process with them, like, hey, can somebody help me do X, Y, and Z? And people love to be needed. And that's another example that's non-romantic, non-sexual. My friends love the opportunity to show up for me because they love me and they value positive affirmation, and they know that's going to lead to me like, oh, I love my friends on the internet, or I love you guys in the group chat. You know what I mean? So it's like giving people the opportunity to do something that's easy, because that's another thing. We're not necessarily talking about, hey, can you buy me a yacht? Sometimes it's like, hey, can you spot me $200 for like the phone bill or the utility? And it's not coming off the top like, hey, as I see in some of the thread, hey, so and so, if you want to get with me, give me $200 for the bill. Hmm. Right. And a lot of times these are situations that if they would have just positioned it the right way, this person, and if positioned it the right way, and if this person had it, they would have been happy to do it. And there's also ways to figure out if somebody can act, is if this person is the person that can help you. Are you directing your complaint and your concern to the right department, right? Because there's also times where a partner can't show up in a certain way, but somebody else can, or like this has worked a lot. Even like times when my bank account has been overdraft, and I've been on the phone with the guy who's like just the worker who has the ability to reverse the overdraft fees. And I've just been very patient, and I'm complimenting him on how much I appreciate this help and how I've been going through such a tough time that my freelance checks have come in late. It's just been really difficult, but I really appreciate his help and his effort. And he was like, you know what? Because I had overdrafts a few times because I was like out of fees. And so he was like, you know what? I'm going to get it approved and got it removed. Learning how to talk to people, how to appeal to their ego and their sense of who they think they are and who they believe they are and who they strive to be will get you so far. And it does not have to be blowing smoke up there, right? Because you're genuinely telling, I genuinely appreciated him helping me get those overdraft fees off of my account. That was genuinely helpful. Okay, that was not manipulative, but it was strategic for me to communicate it instead of just think it. It was strategic for me to understand that, hey, he has a long, long day of people yelling at him about bank charges. And here I am, and I don't even know what he's interested in. I don't know if he likes spend people, but here I am sounding off sweet and appreciative and allowing him to be my hero for at least a 15-minute phone call. And that's going to give him dopamine. Give people dopamine. Give people dopamine that give you the world, but especially men. I didn't want this to be really, really long, but we usually do astrology here, so I don't even know if people like this. If you guys like this, I'll do logic and desire in the next video. I promise I'll go quicker. But does you understand what I'm saying? And then two, do you want me to tell you, explain more about how to use the other two in the big three of male appreciation? So that's ego. A lot of these things I said also tie into logic, also tie into desire. Like, what is his desire? The person helping with the reversals, to have a pleasant exchange after people have been giving him headaches all day. Yes, to feel like he's doing good at his job that he maybe hates, maybe loves. That's a desire, which is linked in with ego. A lot of these things, like, they overlap. But that is the long to the short. Even if I were to not explain the last two, is if you can appeal to what men value, and you can also play into what specific men value, because ego in general is going to be different man to man. What strokes one man's ego is not going to stroke the next. So but this works in a lot of different ways, but it's just essay writing. That's all I came to say. Someone, is there a book? No, I came up with that structure myself. But the concept of like making somebody feel appreciated before you ask them for something, but also allowing them to see the benefit in them taking action on your behalf, right? Like, hey guys, if you like this video, if you enjoyed this video, can you like it and comment? What's the benefit? It's going to motivate me to make more of this content that you like. You see, like it works. But yeah, I just wanted to make that quick video. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. Let me know what you think below. Has this worked for you before? People in relationships, have you tried this, or does this exist in your relationship? If it's healthy, men, is this appealing to you? Let us know in the comments. Let's have a chat. You know, I love to have like a little soiree, a little chat, in the comments. I'd be kikiing with y'all. But yeah, let me know.